You know, I've been a little bit busy these last few days. I was at the Midwest Gaming Classic. I recently did a video looking at RPGs for people who hate fantasy settings, and it strikes me that I have not yet unboxed my Video Games Monthly shipment, and we're doing things a little bit differently this month because I didn't get one in the mail. Instead, it was hand-delivered to me. That's right. Joe from Video Games Monthly was at the Midwest Gaming Classic, and he dropped this off to me, so all that remains to be done is to free this from its sort of priority mail prison. Now, what is Video Games Monthly? Video Games Monthly is a monthly subscription service where you can get 3, 4, 5, or 10 video games sent directly to your front door. These are classic retro hits all the way from Atari up to the Xbox One and the PS4, and it's not a rental service. You get to keep the games. They are yours to keep, and the way you ensure that you are not getting repeat games sent to your door is you curate your list on their website. So if you're out game hunting and you pick something up, toss it up on the website, let them know you already own it, they won't send you a duplicate. Now, this is a human-run company, so mistakes do happen. So if there is something that happens where you do get a duplicate sent to you, just contact customer support. They're going to take care of you. Now, what do I get games for? I get games for the NES, the Famicom, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Master System, the Genesis, the GameCube. Yep, something else, I'm sure. There's more stuff in there I'm not remembering, but we'll figure it out as we go. There's probably something in here for something I did not mention.
He's right, you know.
So how I do this is I look right down this camera. I crack open this box, I do a blind draw, I hold it up to the camera, you guys get to see what it is first. I can't read it because the screen on my camera is itty bitty. I can't tell what it is, but I try to figure it out. And even though I can't see it because I am old and my eyes are basically made of crepe paper at this point, we take a look at it. I give you a quick 60-second review of each game. We talk about them all. I total up my total at the end. I get my total together at the end. I find out how much the games are worth. And we find out if I came out ahead, behind, or if I'm right on the money with the value for this month. Now, per always, we always reach in and we find our card. This is our social media card that says, if you share your experience with VGM, that's right, if you post online about the video games you received, you will be entered into a drawing to win a free 3-up box. That's right, 3 free games sent directly to your front door. All you gotta do is tag VGM, let them know if you're satisfied with the service, and show off what you received. Now, the way I play this is I do a blind draw. I feel in here and I find out what I received. Oh, there's one that I forgot about. That would be a Game Gear game. So we got Game Gear, NES, possibly Dreamcast? Forgot about Dreamcast too. And GameCube or Wii U. All right. Up first is the Game Gear game. 3, 2, 1. I don't know. Quest for the Shaven Yak, starring Ren, Hawk, and Stimpy. Now, I was surprised by the quality of the Ren and Stimpy show. You VD'd it a couple of months ago, so I'm actually cautiously optimistic about this one. And it is always a treat to get stuff on the Game Gear. One of my favorite kind of unheralded handhelds, and getting games for it is awesome because I just don't find any locally. So VGM has become very much one of my main sources for Game Gear content. But let's take a look now at Ren and Stimpy, Quest for the Shaven Yak.
I'm beginning to think I might just like the Ren and Stimpy games from like that generation, because Ren, Hook, and Stimpy in Quest for the Shaven Yak is really good. And I always enjoy finding really good Game Gear games because this was a system that I completely skipped over when I was younger. I was Game Boy all the way, but I was always intrigued by the Game Gear. So finding stuff that plays incredibly well on it is really nice. And this to me feels like a version of almost The Lucky Dime Caper starring Donald Duck. It feels like a very similar version of that game. In its styling, it is, because it's kind of remarkable how good the graphics are and how good the animation is for a system that, much like with The Lucky Dime Caper on the Master System, on the Game Gear shouldn't be this good, because there's plenty of Game Gear games that absolutely phone it in and don't really take advantage of what the system can do. But with Quest for the Shaven Yak, you get not only competent animations on both Stimpy and Ren and all of the enemies, you get really fun gameplay, solid music, great color. It's a remarkable display of what the system is capable of. It's a really, really fun title. You get to play as either Stimpy or Ren based on what level you go into. It's just fun. Each character has their own unique attack. I am really, really impressed with this one. I did not expect to enjoy it, just like I didn't expect to enjoy VDits last month as much as I did, but Quest for the Shaven Yak is a solid game. Very, very happy to have this one.
There you have it. Quality 8-bit handheld entertainment from the fine folks at Sega and Nickelodeon. Ren and Stimpy, Quest for the Shaven Yak. Up next, our first NES game. All right. This could be good. This could be good. This could also be bad. There's a lot of really crappy games on the NES, but let's find out. 3, 2, 1. Operation Wolf? Hey, got it in one. Operation Wolf. Operation Wolf's awesome. Let's take a look now at Operation Wolf.
For many years on this channel, I'm sure people have heard me say repeatedly, I don't own a CRT, so I can't play that. Well, good news, I now have a CRT. It was free on the side of the road, and it still works. So this isn't probably the best example of what Operation Wolf does, because it is a zapper game that you can play with a controller. I'm just showing you the controller here because that's where I have everything hooked up right now. So, Operation Wolf, you are in a first-person perspective. You are shooting enemies. It's sort of an on-rail shooter. It's very much an arcade shooter. It kind of goes back and forth. You have enemies that run back and forth that you're able to shoot. There are tanks. There are helicopters. There's a duck you can shoot to get bonus points. You collect ammo and weapons that are on the ground. It's an arcade game. And it's a very good arcade game. And it just is not reflected very well here using the controller. This needs to be experienced with a zapper. It's significantly more fun. And I'm just happy to have this one, because this is a game that I used to rent constantly as a kid. I loved it as a kid. It was one of those zapper games that this was signature rental to me, because I didn't own a lot of zapper games, but I loved renting them, especially if I had friends over, because we would compete for the high score or something like that. It was just really fun. Excited to have this one though now. Happy to add this back to the collection. I love the box art. Love really everything about it. It's a great game.
There you have it. All-time classic. One of my signature memories is seeing that game in video stores, and that cover just kind of sticks out to me. Like that kind of red into the yellow gradient that it has is just cool to me. I really love it. And it's a fun game too, so you can't go wrong with that. NES game number 2. 3, 2, 1. That is Bases Loaded. I love baseball games. I love Bases Loaded. I am very happy to have this. I say I love Bases Loaded. That's not entirely true. I love certain members of the Bases Loaded family. Let's find out if this is the one I really enjoy.
Play ball.
There are so many people that love Bases Loaded from Jalico on the NES, and I am not one of them. Never have been. I've never really liked this game. I don't know what it is about the way this game is set up, but I don't enjoy the over-the-shoulder from the pitcher's perspective batting in this title. I prefer traditional camera behind the batter when I'm actually hitting the ball instead of being behind the pitcher, because the timing is weird and the NES just was not the right console to try that out on. Now, from a look perspective, it looks fantastic. It looks incredible for an 8-bit baseball game. And I mean, overall, once you kind of get into the rhythm, the game can be fun. It's just not the kind of game I prefer. I personally look at stuff like NES Baseball, like Baseball Simulator 1000, for what I prefer to play on the NES as far as a baseball game goes. I'm excited to have this one because this, much like a lot of games that VGM sends out from the NES, is one that I always skip over when I'm at a convention or I'm at a shop, so having this in the collection now makes me happy, although it does kind of spell out one of my huge annoyances with Jalico on the NES, and that the top label just says Jalico instead of Bases Loaded. So, yeah.
There you have it. Bases Loaded. Oh, we have our ephemera. Did I get a pen? I totally did. I got a VGM pen that I will probably never use, but that's cool. That will go into my pen cup on my desk and live there for all eternity. Next up, a sealed Dreamcast game. This is going to be atrocious. I have found that when I get Dreamcast games from VGM, they are usually pretty bad because Dreamcast stuff is worth a lot of money. So I don't tend to get heavy hitters in my box, and that's fine. But when they are sealed, I am led to believe that these are truly examples of games that just are not quality. But all right, let's find out. 3, 2, 1. Demolition Racer, no exit from Infogrames. Daily Radar says go out and buy a copy of Demolition Racer as soon as it hits the stores. So maybe this is a hidden gem here. Maybe this is a secret quality home run game that I've never heard of or played before.
Oh, my sweet summer child.
Let's take a look.
3, 2, 1, go!
I have discovered as I've gotten older that when I see the Infogrames logo on a game, it can mean that it's either a hidden gem or it is a hot pile of garbage. There really is no middle ground with Infogrames. And Demolition Racer No Exit actually kind of falls into the middle ground. I was wrong in the grand scheme of things, because this is a competent racer that was so close to being really, really excellent. It's clever because you are trying to wreck out the other cars in the game. You do get bonus points for that and stuff like that, but it's not hard to do. Like, there's no challenge to it. Like, you can just hit them like 2 or 3 times and then they're wrecked. Or you can, as you see at the start of this game, they will just drive into the pits and explode. Which, okay, like, that was a decision the AI made. That wasn't something I made them do, which didn't make any sense to me. And it's a shame because the actual gameplay in the game is really fun. The driving is solid. The levels are basic. There's nothing terribly creative here, but it works. Like, this is a game that got halfway realized and then they kind of just decided to just drop it on a disc and release it rather than really refining it and putting it together to make something really special. It's that rare, firmly in the middle of the road game from Infogrames that I really think could have been something excellent if they had stuck with it. But it's cool though. It's always fun to get fresh, brand new Dreamcast games that are still sealed. It's weird and rare to have happen in today's day and age, so excited to have this. It's a really average game, but it's still neat to have.
All right, last up is either a GameCube. No, it is a GameCube. I feel the notch on the bottom of it. So this is a GameCube title. Hopefully it is a complete in box GameCube title. This could be excellent. It could also be bad, but we'll find out together. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, Lord. That's the Scorpion King. Rise of the Acadian. Quick check-in with correspondent Hurricane Helms about the Scorpion King.
It means the Scorpion King got a tiny ding-a-ling.
All right, now let's take a look at the Scorpion King here on the Nintendo GameCube.
Drama? He stood in front of the sun. I couldn't see. Matthias used a valid strategy.
Back before he was Maui, back before he was Frank Wolf in Jungle Cruise, back before he was Smolder Bravestone in Jumanji, hell, back before he was even Chris Vaughn in Walking Tall, we had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as the Scorpion King in the second Mummy movie, as well as its standalone film that was its sequel. And of course, based on that film featuring the Scorpion King, we got a video game tie-in. Of course we did, because it was the 2000s. Everybody had a video game tie-in. And you guys know, I love my licensed games, so I was really excited to play Scorpion King Rise of the Acadian on the GameCube, and oh, the hubris. Oh, the hubris, because oh my god, this game is terrible. This is the one that people point to and they say, you know what, licensed video games are terrible. This is a licensed video game, and it's awful. Props to Dwayne for voicing the Scorpion King in this game. I think that's pretty clever that he did that. I think that's cool. And there's actually... I'm trying to polish a turd here. I'm trying to make this sound better than it is. It's bad. This is just an awful game. The controls are terrible. The look is bad. The voice acting is like the only shining spot on this entire thing, because you do get The Rock voicing his character, and Billy West is in the game too. So if you're a voice acting fan, there's some notable folks in the game, but their performances are betrayed by an awful game, and it really sucks. It's unfortunate. This is bad. Like, the most positive spin I can give on this game, and this is no fault of VGM, by the way. This is not on them. This is just the luck of the draw. And the only positive thing I can say about this is that it was a complete in-box GameCube game, and everything looks fantastic. Other than that, this is one of the hottest piles of hot garbage I've ever seen.
Yeah, and legit, not only is this complete in box, it's like immaculate. This looks like it was never played. Honestly, like the manual is in perfect condition. The game looks great. A little bit of resurfacing schmutz on there, which is fine. That's easy to clean up. Not a big deal, but I appreciate that. Love getting complete in-box GameCube games, and I'm always a sucker for a licensed title. So hopefully I enjoyed it. You know my opinion on it now that I've played it and given you the 60-second review. But now we're going to total everything up. We're going to get everything lined up. We're going to total everything out. We're going to find out if I came out ahead, behind, or if I was right on the money.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages.
All right, I didn't quite get to the point where I'm making back all of my money on this one. If I don't count shipping, I did. So I came out at $47.49 this month. Big ticket item is that Demolition Racer game. Since it is new and sealed, it's worth a little bit more. Granted, it's not going to be new and sealed as soon as now that I've played it, but the condition it was sent to me in, it was new and sealed. That's what I'm going to count it towards. So all in all, kind of an interesting month. You know, a couple of the NES games are always nice to get. Always love getting stuff for the Dreamcast and the GameCube, and excited that I got a Game Gear game as well. So while not maybe the most glamorous month of, you know, crazy titles that everyone gets excited for, I'm still happy, still excited, and appreciative of Joe for bringing it to me at MGC. Let me know in the comments down below what game was most interesting to you this month, which one looks like something you'd want to play, which is something you think I maybe rated low that is actually something you really enjoy. Or if I really enjoyed something that you can't stand, let me know that as well. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me today. If you enjoyed this video, check out the one on screen right now where I unboxed last month's VGM video. And remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.